We are here today to honor a woman who has made a tremendous impact on UNC athletics, and specifically the Northern Colorado softball program. Almost 1 year ago today, a committee was formed to discuss the potential of recognizing her impact by naming the softball field. Through this discussion, a plan was hatched to not only recognize Gloria Rodriguez, but upgrade the current softball facility. Within 10 months, this committee rallied donors to raise $100,000, enabling us to be here today to honor the past and provide an improved foundation for the future of UNC softball. To open the program, I'd like to welcome your Director of Athletics, Darren Dunn, to make a few comments.
Hi there, how's everyone doing today? All right, that was average. Come on now. How's everyone doing today? There we go. I would expect nothing less from softball people. They're the loudest that I've ever seen. So we're really glad you're here. This is a great special day, I think, for our softball program, and I'm really excited to get this started. I originally wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to be traveling, but this event is extremely important to our athletic department, and so I really wanted to be here. Specifically for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to recognize and be here so that we can celebrate all the great accomplishments from our head coach, Gloria Rodriguez, and her teams. What an amazing career she had in those teams. They are unbelievable. I also want to let you all know that our softball program is important to this university, and we have extremely high expectations. This is just the start. We have raised over $100,000, and we looked at it at 3 different phases. One was a scoreboard, which we'll turn on here in a minute, so don't worry, it works. Second, we're going to tear down this fence and put a real softball net in here. And our third phase will be hopefully to lower the dugouts so that it's a super first-class facility for our softball program. I'm really honored to be here and to be a part of this special ceremony. I would like to first recognize, before we get into it, our president of the university, Kay Norton. Thank you so much for being here and being such a support of this event. Thank you. I also would like to recognize our provost, Robin Wacker, who's a former student athlete here. Thank you so much for being here. She is a great support of our program. I really appreciate it. Every time that you do any kind of capital project, there are many people behind the scenes that make a project happen. And I'd like to thank a few of them who are here that really made this a reality. The first, it was called the committee, but internally, they don't know this, but internally we called it the Relentless Committee. The Relentless Committee did a great job, and I'd like to thank Patty Harsh, Dave Beckman, and Linda Witt very much. They did an unbelievable job. Thank you very much, you three. I'd also like to recognize, however, I've not seen him here. He was going to be here. He's someone that doesn't like to be recognized, and that's Dave King. He was a super supporter of this project. He's been a tremendous supporter of our softball program and also softball in this community. And I just wanted to recognize him for all his support. I'd also like to thank all the donors that are here today. Again, this project would not have happened without your support. So we're really excited that you're here and you really helped make this happen. Coach Rodriguez, I just wanted to again thank you for being here and congratulations on everything you did in your career here at UNC. It's simply amazing. She obviously had a great career, but I think from an athletic department standpoint, I think more importantly, You are a tremendous mentor for so many young women and obviously softball players of all ages. So thank you very much. On behalf of the University of Northern Colorado and the Department of Athletics, we are so proud to name this softball field in your honor. Thank you. Now I'd like to call up our head coach, Coach Easley. She'd like to also say a few words. Thank you.
Yeah, Easley. Well, I want to echo for sure, thank you to everyone being here. I think this is the biggest and best alumni event we've ever had, so it's great to see everybody out here. And really, this is just an opportunity to honor our past, honor Coach Rodriguez, and build for our future. It's kind of the combining of two wonderful things that we get in this event. So I'm so grateful for that, and just grateful for Coach Rodriguez. And so I've really had my experience with her in the last 24 hours, just meeting her last night. But really, the word that comes to mind when I think about her and just a lot of the people here, alumni, faculty, donors to our program, is you guys are change makers. We're making things better. Gloria worked so hard to make not only the softball program better, but was integral at UNC in athletics and really progressive in women's softball. She was totally invested in it, and that's just something I think that we all appreciate and strive to be. So thank you, and appreciate so much you doing that. I want to echo real quick. Darren had mentioned the work of our field naming committee and Dave Beckman, Linda Witt, and Patty Harsh. These three really steered the ship. They worked day in and day out. I know Dave was emailing at 3 a.m. sometimes. Linda, you were too, so we were all working day in and day out, trying to rally donors and make this a reality for our team. And so those people worked very, very hard on this project, and so we're very grateful for you for doing that. And I also want to acknowledge our athletics staff, our department staff, and our support staff for making this happen. Darren Dunn, Sarah Adams, Kevin Robinson, David Sabulchek, Jenny Shoup, Alex Stern, Melinda Fleeman. You guys were all integral in making this happen as well. So appreciate the effort that you guys put into this as well. We wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. And lastly, before we get the main event to come up and talk, just really want you to know, Gloria, that we're all collectively trying our best to make sure we're carrying on your level of excellence. That what you have established, that we're carrying on, and we're trying to make the very best of what we have to progress it and make you proud of our program and make all of our donors, alums, all of our fans proud of our program. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll turn it over to Gloria.
Can you hear me with this? How's that? Softball players can be short. I also coach basketball. Thank you all for your work, for your generosity, for all the contributions that you have made to help make this happen. The resources, the gifts of money, time, work, including in-kind work, the resources of your intelligence and of your love are admirable beyond words. I would like to thank the UNC Foundation for all of your work. I especially want to acknowledge Linda Witt for her hard work and leadership regarding this project. She provided that same level of leadership and dedication when she was an outstanding softball student athlete when I coached here in the 70s. I also want to acknowledge Patty Hirsch and Dave Beckman and Connie Witt for all of their work. I know there were others that helped make all of this happen. We thank you. It takes all of us together. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Thank you for honoring me and what I and many others accomplished together. I have been a part of many teams, my first being the team of my family, a passionate, loving, hard-working family. My father, Joe, 92, worked as an 8-year-old here in Greeley, Colorado, picking crops with his family who were hard-working farm workers. He liked cars. He later became a mechanic, and he and my mother owned their own auto repair shop together in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She would work on the books, he would work on the cars. My father had a friend who worked at a sporting goods store. He worked on this friend's car in trade for my first baseball and baseball glove, my first basketball and basketball goal. My first identity was as an athlete, and although it was outside his reality, he always supported me. My mother, Viola, 94, is presently living with Alzheimer's. Her family was from New Mexico, since it was old Mexico. She was the brains of the family, the matriarch. She gave me my competitive spirit, the go for your dreams, the make it happen, the you can do it, the motivating drive that I brought with me to coaching at UNC. My younger sister, Jerry, has taught me the depth of being a loving ally. My younger brothers, Bob and Rick, always let me practice my leadership skills by bossing them around. My daughter, Kisei, who is the apple of my eye, is here with my son-in-law, Jossie, who is the apple of her eye, and vice versa. She has taught me a new level of love and determination in making things happen. I am proud to say she is in education, currently an assistant principal. And Bernadette Cormier, my daughter's other mother, has always brought love and depth to this family, to this team. I would like to ask my 4 family members who are here, Jerry, Kisei and Jossie, and Bernadette, to stand and wave. The next family, the next team members I want to acknowledge are those women who taught and coached here in the 70s. When I first came to UNC in 1969 as a 25-year-old coach and teacher, I came because there was a great team of bright and dedicated women physical educators led by Dr. Betty Everett. Dr. Everett was the head of Women's Physical Education Department, one of the best departments in the country. Strong teachers, strong future physical educators, many of whom were strong athletes, all wanted to be a part of this team. Rosemary Fry was our first women's athletic director. Dr. Mary Bailing started the women's softball program 2 years before I arrived. Doris Steffi, Carol Mosser, Jean Hedberg, Christy Howard, Linda Delk, Jane Martindale, doctors Carolyn Cody, Cindy Carlisle, Kathy Hildreth, Helen Dobell, Benta Hansen, Dr. Nancy Van Ann, Dr. Tess Malumphy, and Carolyn Bales were all a part of this family, this team dedicated to educating and providing opportunities for women in sports. As Dr. Bernice Reagan has said, we honor those who provide the ground we stand on. We acknowledge that we are here today because of something someone did before we came. I would like to ask this team of educators and coaches who came before you to stand and be acknowledged. In the late 60s and early 70s, we experienced the impact of the civil rights movement on the women's movement. And the women's movement directly impacted women's sports through the 1972 Title IX educational amendments. These amendments banned sex discrimination in schools, whether it be in academics or athletics. In 1974, I attended a women in sports class taught by Dr. Ellen Gerber in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. It was extremely informative and motivating. When I returned, I presented to Dr. Everett and others ideas for change here at UNC. Dr. Everett and I presented some of this thinking to the president of UNC, Dr. Richard Bond. We presented a plan to begin a road to equality for the women student athletes at UNC. Dr. Bond was on board. I feel that as we struggled for equal rights for women athletes, our social justice work on Title IX was our greatest legacy. We worked on many things, including increasing budgets, improving facilities, and providing scholarships. It was many times an uphill struggle, but I'm happy to say that we offered our first athletic softball scholarships in 1977. And many of the members of that team were awarded those scholarships, with Lou Peel, who wanted to be here but was stuck in that storm back east. She received the first full ride. Some of those student athletes have been inducted individually into the UNC Athletic Hall of Fame. Lou Peel, Linda Witt, Jan Breckenridge, Alexis Gardner, Venus Jennings, and Sharon Hoffman. Hopefully, others from that time will also be inducted. Many of you deserve to be. I am proud to say that 5 teams from that era have also been inducted. Hi. The final family, the final team members who I want to acknowledge are those I had the privilege of coaching. No coach is successful without great athletes, and my success was attributable to these women student athletes. This new field should be named after all of you. We were a team in some of the greatest of times. To all of the teams, all of the families, I thank you for all of the richness we shared. We honor those who have passed. Fran Sixkiller, a great first base player from the 1974 team, and Barb Reifler, an outstanding shortstop from the 1973 team. We honor all of those members who could not be here and all of those members who are here, who played on the varsity and junior varsity teams of that time. Will you please stand so that we can recognize and honor you? And to Coach Easley and the current softball team and their families, please stand. Oh, you're standing. We wish you the best from all of us to all of you. As Linda Witt says, enjoy the journey. And as I say, there will be challenging times, there will be fun times, embrace it all. Do your best and enjoy the new field. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to welcome back Director of Athletics Darren Dunn and head softball coach Shayna Easley back to the podium for a special presentation to Gloria.
Get a round of applause for Gloria.
And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Gloria Rodriguez Field.